The Jupiterian new full moon that will occur at 6 degrees Aquarius on July 29th is one of the most radical, luckiest, but also most tense and fateful thresholds the sky has witnessed in recent years. Aquarius represents the collective, social visions, freedom, technology, human rights, and the future. This full moon serves as a universal call to awaken, urging us to tear down what is old and outdated in our lives and build in its place a new self that is completely independent, free, and visionary. The full moon is in exact opposition to Jupiter, the planet of luck, growth, and abundance, which is shining in the sign of Leo. In astrology, Jupiter magnifies everything it touches. So if you have projects you've been working on for a long time, ones through which you hope to gain independence, or projects that appeal to the masses, this full moon may bring you immense material and spiritual rewards, opportunities, celebrations, and moments of destiny-driven brilliance. The luck factor is at its peak, but the Jupiter full moon opposition makes it very easy to overdo things when it comes to ego, spending, and emotions. Making arrogant statements or spending recklessly with the attitude of, I know everything, no one can touch me, can lead to crises. Pluto, the planet of transformation in Aquarius, is in exact conjunction with the moon during this full moon and stands directly opposite the Sun-Jupiter duo. This indicates that you may enter into a fateful power struggle with authority figures, bosses, restrictive systems, or the communities you are part of. Structures that try to pressure or manipulate you may come to the surface. However, the powerful effect of the full moon will also bring about a radical cleansing. This full moon will enable you to rise from the ashes as a much stronger leader by shattering whatever has outlived its purpose in your life, whether it's a toxic relationship, a job, or a fear-based belief pattern that enslaves you and restricts your freedom. Despite all the intense pressures and ego clashes of this full moon, the greatest source of relief the sky offers us is the exact trine between Jupiter and Neptune in Aries. No matter how much manipulation or how many crises happen around you, when you surrender, quiet your ego, and trust your intuition, you will be under tremendous divine protection. During the full moon, Mars and Uranus are still moving in a very powerful conjunction in Gemini. You may suddenly receive shocking news in the areas of communication, the digital world, or your close environment. Your mind and your words will be incredibly sharp. A rash word that slips from your mouth could trigger fateful separations. It will be very important to slow down in traffic and in communication. The Aquarius full moon is tailor-made for spiritual practices, as it contains mental frequency, Platonic transformation, and Neptunian divine energy. Aquarius is directly connected to higher consciousness, shamanic healing, and collective energy. This full moon is an incredible gateway to elevate your spiritual frequency to a higher dimension. To make the most of this Jupiterian full moon, the best thing you can do is unfollow social media accounts that drag you down mentally and constantly spread doom and gloom. Completely clean out your phone, computer, old emails, and digital clutter. Aquarius loves cleaning up the digital space. Besides that, you can also perform a cord-cutting ritual. First, listen to the cord-cutting ritual available on my channel and follow the instructions. Then, take a piece of paper and write down one by one the fears that restrict you, the toxic ties, and the self-sabotaging beliefs that block your freedom in your life. Feel the transformative power of Pluto and the courage of Jupiter within you, and say, I am lovingly releasing these old energies that have enslaved me. I declare my own freedom and leadership. Say this, and then safely burn that piece of paper. You can scatter the ashes into the earth or water. On the night of the full moon, that is, the night connecting July 28th to 29th, move to a quiet place. Do deep breath meditations to feel the divine protection of the Jupiter-Neptune trine. Close your eyes and imagine your most free, happiest, and most successful self in the future. The Aquarius full moon is the house of coding the future. Whisper your intentions to the universe and surrender by saying, I trust the flow. These days, the Mars-Uranus conjunction will accumulate excessive electricity in our nervous system. To avoid anger outbursts during the full moon week, grounding yourself barefoot on the earth, showering with water mixed with sea salt, or doing walks and sports will help discharge this electricity from your body. Aquarius rules the backs of the legs, varicose veins, and the circulatory system. During this period, resting with your legs elevated and drinking plenty of water will do wonders for your physical body. And finally, please do something that benefits the collective. Especially if the full moon is close to your personal planets, it will be beneficial to do this. If you want to multiply the luck of the Aquarius full moon, set your personal ego aside and serve the collective. Help an animal, plant a sapling, or generously reach out to someone in need. The more you share, the more Jupiter's energy will multiply abundance in your life. Now, I'll leave you with the detailed horoscope interpretations. Yes, it's my avatar, but bear with me. Work's been crazy and I can't keep up with recording, so from now on, I'll handle the main parts myself. I'll hand over the zodiac sign section to my avatar, which I also created. Thank you in advance for your understanding. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. See you again soon.
Dear Aries, the Jupiterian full moon in Aquarius, occurring at 6 degrees on July 29th, brings an immensely powerful, radical, and incredibly fortunate completion to your 11th house, the area of your social circle, friends, associations, collective projects, career income, and future dreams. This full moon initiates a revolutionary awakening in your social life, finances, and love life. You may reap the rewards of your long-term efforts in digital projects, teamwork, or organizations in the form of large sums of money, increased turnover, or significant success with this full moon. A dream of yours may fatedly come true. While Jupiter in your 5th house enhances your love life and ego, the full moon will make you question your place within your social circles. Exaggerated situations may arise between your individual happiness and the expectations of the communities you belong to. You should absolutely avoid ostentation and extravagance in your spending. You may feel immense manipulation, pressure, jealousy, or power struggles from your social circle, a group you belong to, or your friends. A toxic friendship or peer pressure trying to dominate you may fatedly leave your life completely with the destructive power of this full moon. This full moon tells you, don't sacrifice your creative abilities, love, and individuality to gain the approval of others or to please groups. You will emerge victorious from power struggles and completely transform your social circle. No matter how great the crises or pressures may be in the outside world or within your social circle, the fated aspect between Jupiter and Neptune in your 5th house offers you a tremendous invisible shield. If you are involved in art, design, performing arts, or social media, your intuition will open doors of opportunity wide for you. In your love life, in your flirtations, or in your relationships with your children, you may experience divine healing and joy, almost like a soulmate. When you trust in your own light, no external manipulation can harm you. With the Mars-Uranus conjunction still very strong in your house of communication, immediate environment, and thoughts, this full moon is placing a high level of tension on your nervous system. You may receive sudden, shocking news from those close to you, siblings, or business dealings. Around this full moon, you should remain extra calm in traffic. Avoid sending impulsive, impatient messages or making sharp remarks that could burn bridges in a second. Your words could trigger fateful breakups. You must remain calm and act rationally. In summary, in the positive scenario, a dream future you've been building for years or a digital project is completed with tremendous financial and emotional success. You silently eliminate manipulative people from your social circle. You remain silent in the face of shocking news from those close to you. You shine like a star, completely focusing on your creative projects, hobbies, or the joys of your love life, experiencing a fated freedom. In summary, in the positive scenario, a dream future you've been building for years or a digital project is completed with tremendous financial and emotional success. You silently eliminate manipulative people from your social circle. You remain silent in the face of shocking news from those close to you. You shine like a star, completely focusing on your creative projects, hobbies, or the joys of your love life, experiencing a fated freedom. This full moon will most affect those with planets between 1 and 11 degrees in Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, Gemini, Libra, Sagittarius, and Aries. Dear Taurus, the Jupiterian full moon in Aquarius on July 29th at 6 degrees brings a tremendously powerful, radical, and extremely fortunate completion to your 10th house, the area of career and social status. This full moon shakes the cornerstones shaping your life, initiating a revolutionary awakening in your professional life, home life, and financial structure. With this full moon, you may reap the rewards of your long-term efforts in work projects and professional endeavors in the form of tremendous success, promotion, title increase, or great public recognition. Jupiter in your 4th house creates a desire for generous comfort and expansion within your home and family, while the full moon will bring brilliance to your career. However, there may be excesses between the comfort and luxurious spending in your home life and the great responsibilities of your work life. You should avoid ego-driven confrontations. In your professional life, you may feel immense manipulation, pressure, jealousy, or power struggles from your superiors, bosses, or the existing system. The pressure from a toxic manager or work project trying to control you may fatally leave your life completely with the destructive power of this full moon. It could even lead to a decision to resign or change careers. This full moon may trigger a fated transformation that will radically change your social status or place of residence, such as marriage or divorce. You are being tested on whether to maintain your inner peace instead of succumbing to the pressure of others. No matter how big the crises, manipulations, or pressures you face in your career, the fated aspect Jupiter will make with Neptune in your 4th house offers you immense refuge. The moment you withdraw from the ambitions of the outside world, close the door of your home, meditate, or take refuge in the love of your family, you will be under immense divine protection. Your intuition will be very strong, and a tremendous inner peace and divine healing will come to you within your home. The Mars-Uranus conjunction, still very strong in your house of money, financial resources, and self-worth, is putting high tension on your finances during this full moon. A sudden, shocking expense or an unusual source of income may arise. You should absolutely avoid making impulsive financial decisions or taking risky steps in speculative areas, driven by anger, frustration, and panic in the face of career pressure. In summary, in the positive scenario, a long-awaited title or achievement in your career materializes. You professionally and coolly eliminate manipulative and oppressive people from your workplace. You remain rational in the face of sudden shocks in your money house. You rise from the ashes, so to speak, by completely focusing on the peace of your home, your family, and that divine protection in your subconscious, declaring a fated success. In the worst-case scenario, you might engage in ego battles with your bosses at work, acting like it's always my way, ending up in the wrong and losing your job. This stress and panic might lead you to invest money in risky ventures, creating a financial crisis. This full moon will most affect those with planets between 1 and 11 degrees in Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, Gemini, Libra, Sagittarius, and Aries. Dear Gemini, the Jupiterian full moon in Aquarius on July 29th at 6 degrees brings an immensely powerful, radical, and extremely fortunate completion to your 9th house, the house of higher education, academic career, international affairs, foreigners, legal matters, and online work. This full moon, combined with fateful major aspects that shape your life's trajectory, initiates a revolutionary awakening in your mindset, close relationships, and personal independence. If you have an ongoing visa or passport process, an international business venture, an academic thesis, or a court case, this full moon could bring unexpectedly large rewards, deserved gains, lasting clarity, or financial returns. With Jupiter in your 3rd house, your communication style and mindset will be enhanced with excessive self-confidence, while the full moon will broaden your perspective on life. However, you run a high risk of approaching those close to you, siblings or business partners, with an arrogant, I know best, my philosophy is superior attitude. You should avoid trying to dictate your ideas to others. You may feel manipulation, ideological pressure, or a crisis coming from distant sources, international connections, academic circles, or legal systems. Your old and rigid thought patterns will be fundamentally shaken by the disruptive and transformative power of this full moon. This full moon carries the message, don't let distant authority figures or imposed rigid rules silence your practical, brilliant, and original ideas. You will declare your intellectual independence. No matter how great the crises and pressures in the outside world, the fated aspect Jupiter will make with Neptune in your 3rd house offers you a tremendous divine shield. If you are a writer, content creator, educator, or active on social media, your words will carry captivating inspiration during this period. Your ideas and visionary projects may receive miraculous acceptance and support from large groups of friends, associations, and audiences. You must trust your intuition. The Mars-Uranus conjunction, located directly in your ascendant house at the most critical point in your chart, is putting a high level of tension on your nervous system. You have an immensely impatient, rebellious, and aggressive energy within you, resistant to restrictions. You might act in a I'll burn the whole harbor, not just the ships mode. With your personality so electrified, a legal trigger or a minor disagreement with someone close could suddenly cause you to burn bridges, send angry, impulsive messages, or furiously break a contract. You should remain extra calm in traffic and absolutely avoid hasty actions and physical risks. Slowing down will save lives this week. In summary, in a positive scenario, a matter related to overseas travel, education, or a legal issue is resolved with tremendous success. You logically identify and eliminate dogmatic or manipulative pressures that come your way. Instead of engaging in conflict, you channel your high, rebellious personal energy into creative digital projects and writing. You garner strong applause and material and moral support from your social circle and the masses. The negative scenario is that you suddenly get angry at a message or email, quarrel with your close circle or an authority figure, and turn a minor disagreement into a huge, crisis-ridden, and exhausting legal battle. You act with a I know everything arrogance, alienate people, and sabotage your chances. This full moon will most affect those with planets between 1 and 11 degrees in Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, Gemini, Libra, Sagittarius, and Aries. Dear Cancer, the Jupiterian full moon in Aquarius, occurring at 6 degrees on July 29th, is creating a tremendously powerful, radical, and fated wave of completion in your 8th house, the house of shared earnings, spouse's finances, inheritances, loans, debts, taxes, alimony, and deep psychological transformation. This full moon is shaking the axes that govern your life's financial balance and spiritual security, initiating a revolutionary awakening where you can turn crises into opportunities, but be very careful to avoid ego battles. A long-awaited inheritance, insurance payment, compensation, alimony, or bank restructuring may be resolved in your favor with this full moon, resulting in a much larger sum of money than you expected. Jupiter in your 2nd house gives you the opportunity to earn significant money through your own efforts and provides great financial confidence. However, the full moon will make you question how to balance this money with your spouse, partner, or banks. Taking on uncontrolled debt or overspending on luxury goods with the complacency of, I'm earning enough anyway, could strain your budget in the long run. You may feel immense manipulation, pressure, or crisis in your shared income, your spouse's budget, or your financial dealings with banks or the government. Situations may arise where a partner or system you trust is trying to financially corner you. This full moon carries the message, take control of your own abilities and budget, and don't become dependent on other people's money, your spouse's income, or bank loans. You will make a radical decision to cut off crisis situations that are financially exploiting you or dragging you into debt. No matter how major crises, manipulations, or pressures arise in shared income, the fated aspect between Jupiter and Neptune in your house of money offers you a tremendous divine shield and a practical way out. Visionary, artistic, or creative projects you undertake in your professional life are combined with Jupiter's good fortune. You may receive immense recognition from society and open up unexpected, miraculous, prestigious, and abundant new sources of income through your own efforts. Your intuition will guide you on the right path in financial matters. The Mars-Uranus conjunction, located in the most mysterious and uncontrollable part of the chart, is placing a high level of tension on your inner world and nervous system. Some behind-the-scenes dealings, secret dealings, or shocking gossip may suddenly surface around this full moon. You may feel incredibly restless, sleepless, and angry. If you fail to recognize this uncontrolled, hidden anger building up inside, you might unjustly vent your frustration on your spouse, partner, or lover due to the stress of financial crises. You should absolutely avoid secret dealings and backbiting, and release this high nervous tension through meditation or strenuous exercise. In summary, in a positive scenario, a long-awaited major debt settlement, inheritance, or alimony matter is completed in your favor, with significant financial success. You professionally and calmly eliminate people who tried to manipulate you in financial matters. You notice a shocking issue happening behind your back without anger. You rise from the ashes, so to speak, by completely focusing on your career, talents, and earning opportunities, and declare your financial freedom. In the negative scenario, you might engage in huge ego battles with your spouse or partner over shared funds or debts, sabotaging your financial partnerships with a my money, your money mentality. You might suddenly erupt from pent-up inner anger, burning bridges, becoming fatefully alone, and making yourself psychosomatically ill. This full moon will most affect those with planets between 1 and 11 degrees in Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, Gemini, Libra, Sagittarius, and Aries. Dear Leo, the Jupiterian full moon in Aquarius, occurring at 6 degrees on July 29th, is creating a powerful, disruptive, and fated wave of completion in your 7th house, the area of marriage, relationships, and partnerships. This full moon is fundamentally shaking the I and we balance, the most important axis of your life, initiating a revolutionary awakening, completion, or radical cleansing period in your relationships. If you have a strong and unwavering relationship, this full moon may bring about a fated marriage decision, finalize a wedding date, or sign a very prestigious and profitable business partnership agreement. Your popularity in society will increase. While Jupiter in your sign bestows immense self-confidence, charisma, and a feeling of, I'm the star of this life, the full moon urges you to focus on your partner's needs. Acting with an arrogant, it has to be my way attitude, or having high expectations of your partner can lead to tension in your relationship. Knowing your boundaries is important. You may feel immense manipulation, pressure, jealousy, or crisis from your spouse, lover, partner, or an ongoing legal process. Situations where the other party is trying to control or suppress you may surface. This full moon is giving you the message, don't sacrifice yourself, your light, and your pride by succumbing to the manipulation or pressure of the other party. With the destructive power of this full moon, you may suddenly and radically cut ties with a toxic relationship or partnership that is emotionally or financially exploiting you and has run its course. No matter how great the storms or manipulations in your relationships, the fated aspect between Jupiter and Neptune in your sign offers you a tremendous divine shield and a visionary way out. Those who can remain centered during your relationship crisis and look at events more broadly and wisely will find spiritual healing. Your intuition will open doors of opportunity for you in overseas affairs, education, or legal processes. As you radiate your own light, you will melt away all external pressures, like the sun. Friendships, associations, and future hopes are all under the influence of the Mars-Uranus conjunction, which remains very strong in your house, placing a high level of tension on your social life. You may receive shocking news suddenly from a group of friends or a project you're involved in. The stress of relationship tension increases your risk of making impulsive, impatient outbursts towards people on social media or in your circle of friends. Sudden and fateful breakups may occur within your social circle. You should remain calm and rational. In summary, in the positive scenario, a long-awaited, fateful clarification or formal step in your marriage or business partnership is completed with great success. You calmly eliminate people who try to manipulate or control you in your relationships. You protect your tongue against sudden shocks in your social circle. You shine like a star on the stage of life by completely focusing on your personal growth, beliefs, and visionary projects, declaring a fated freedom. In the negative scenario, you might engage in major ego battles with your spouse or partner, acting as if you're the main character in their life, ending up in the wrong despite being in the right, and experiencing fateful divorces or separations in partnerships. This stress might also cause you to suddenly lash out at your friends, burning bridges, and ultimately leaving you alone. This full moon will most affect those with planets between 1 and 11 degrees in Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, Gemini, Libra, Sagittarius, and Aries. Dear Virgo, the Jupiterian full moon in Aquarius, occurring at 6 degrees on July 29th, is creating a powerful, structuring, and fated wave of completion in your 6th house, the area of your work environment, projects, colleagues, routines, pets, and physical health. This full moon is shaking the axes that govern the practical order and spiritual balance of your life, initiating a revolutionary awakening and fated cleansing period in your work life, health, and career title. With this full moon, you may reap the rewards of your long-term efforts in daily projects, professional endeavors, or work-related activities in the form of great success, clarity, completion of a task, or approval of a long-awaited project. Jupiter in your 12th house gives you immense faith, spiritual protection, and the opportunity for expansion in behind-the-scenes work, while the full moon pushes you to be productive in the practical world. You may experience an exaggerated balance between your need for spiritual rest and the intense demands of the work environment. You shouldn't work so much that you neglect your health. Intense work stress and lack of sleep can weaken your immune system. It can trigger circulatory problems, varicose veins, nervous tension, and sudden cramps. You should make time to rest before your body rebels. In your daily work life, you may feel significant manipulation, pressure, jealousy, or power struggles in your relationships with colleagues or subordinates. The pressure from a toxic colleague or project trying to dominate or control you may surface. This full moon carries the message of don't sacrifice your own mental health and peace of mind by giving in to the pressures and bullying of others in the workplace. You may make a radical decision to suddenly cut ties with an outdated work system that is enslaving or wearing you down, deciding to resign or change sectors. No matter how many storms, manipulations, or pressures you face in the business world and your daily routines, the fated aspect between Jupiter and Neptune in your 12th house offers you immense divine refuge. When you are alone and surrender, silencing your ego and focusing on your spiritual healing, you will realize that you are protected by an invisible hand. You can miraculously manage crises through shared finances, paying off debts, bank restructuring, or unexpected financial resources coming your way through your spouse's money. The Mars-Uranus conjunction, still very strong in your house of career and social status, is placing a high level of tension on your professional life during this full moon. A sudden, shocking piece of news or a drastic change of direction may arise in your work life, your relationships with superiors, or your public image. You absolutely must avoid getting angry at this plutonic pressure at work and burning bridges with impulsive decisions, or engaging in irreversible confrontations with your bosses. Those who act in anger regret it later. You need to slow down. In summary, in the positive scenario, a project or arrangement you've been working on for a long time in your work environment is completed with great success. You professionally and calmly eliminate manipulative and oppressive people from your life. You remain rational in the face of sudden shocks and news in your career. You rise from the ashes by completely focusing on that divine protection in your subconscious and the financial healing that shared funds will bring. In the worst-case scenario, you dwell on workplace crises, making yourself physically ill. This stress can lead to an angry outburst at your bosses, resulting in you being unfairly accused and potentially losing your job or title. This full moon will most affect those with planets between 1 and 11 degrees in Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, Gemini, Jambia, Sagittarius, and Aries. Dear Libra, the Jupiterian full moon in Aquarius, occurring at 6 degrees on July 29th, brings an immensely powerful, radical, and extremely fortunate completion to your 5th house, the house of love, children, hobbies, creativity, and speculative gains. This full moon is initiating a revolutionary awakening that will shake up the axes of joy, love, luck, and vision in your life, fundamentally changing the pleasure you derive from life, the rhythm of your heart, and your plans for the future. If you are a single Libra, a fated love story that will sweep you off your feet may begin with this full moon. Or you may formalize your relationship with your current crush. If you are involved in an artistic, creative project or social media, your work may be appreciated by a large audience. For Libras who want to have children, surprising, lucky pregnancy news may come to the fore. For those who already have children, a proud achievement may become clear in their lives. In areas such as the stock market and crypto, you may experience a long-awaited profitable completion. While Jupiter in your 11th house gives you immense popularity and generosity within your social circle, the full moon asks you to focus on your own happiness. Showing off to your friends or taking excessive risks in the stock market due to peer pressure or overspending on luxury goods could strain your budget. You may feel immense manipulation, jealousy, pressure, or crises from your partner in your love life or in your relationships with your children. Crises created by a toxic partner trying to control you may surface. This full moon carries the message, don't sacrifice your individual happiness, love, children, and creative abilities to gain the approval of others, your social circle, or the communities you belong to. You will suddenly and radically cut ties with an addiction that is emotionally or spiritually exploiting you. No matter how great the storms or manipulations in your love life or investments, the fated aspect between Jupiter and Neptune in your 11th house offers you a tremendous divine shield. A magical healing process is underway in your marriage or long-term relationship. You can forge fated connections with visionary people who will inspire you with their ideals through your friends or elevate your current relationship to a divine level. Your intuition will be your greatest guide in your relationships. The Mars-Uranus conjunction, still very strong in your house of beliefs, long journeys, foreign affairs, and legal matters, is placing a high level of tension on your mind during this full moon. If you have an ongoing lawsuit, court case, academic process, or overseas plans, a shocking piece of news or a sudden change of direction may arise. You should absolutely avoid getting angry at the plutonic pressure in your love life or investments and impulsively launching legal battles to prove your point. Burning bridges in anger can damage your reputation. You should slow down. In summary, in a positive scenario, a long-awaited, fated clarification in your love life regarding your children or a creative project will be completed with great success. You will calmly eliminate manipulative and controlling people from your life. You will remain rational in the face of sudden shocks in overseas matters, education, or legal areas. By focusing on your honest friends and the shared experiences in your marriage or partnership, you will shine like a star and experience a fated reward. In the negative scenario, you might impulsively take big, uncontrolled risks in your love life or investments, plunging yourself into a major financial or emotional crisis. This stress could lead you to initiate major legal battles against your partner, leaving you in the wrong despite being in the right. This full moon will most affect those with planets between 1 and 11 degrees in Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, Gemini, Jambia, Sagittarius, and Aries. Dear Scorpio, the Jupiterian full moon in Aquarius, occurring at 6 degrees on July 29th, is creating a powerful, profound, and disruptive wave of completion in your 4th house, the house of home, family, roots, property, and parents. This full moon is shaking the most intimate area of your chart and the fundamental pillars of your life, initiating a revolutionary awakening in your family life, living situation, and career. A long-standing issue of moving, buying, or selling a house, land, or real estate may reach a definitive conclusion with this full moon. You may make fateful decisions that will secure your family and home. While Jupiter at the peak of your chart promises a tremendous rise in your career and great success in your professional life, the full moon shifts your focus to your home. There may be some conflict between your magnificent responsibilities and leadership ambitions at work and the needs of your home life or parents. You shouldn't neglect your home by becoming a workaholic. You may feel significant manipulation, pressure, jealousy, or power struggles in your relationships with your elders, parents, or in your home life. Crisis situations, such as past childhood traumas or family property/inheritance disputes, may resurface. You may want to break free from the pressure of a family member who is trying to control you. This full moon carries the message, don't sacrifice your inner security, roots, and home to manipulation in order to protect your career title, success, or public image. You will make a radical decision to leave behind an outdated family pattern or structure that is emotionally exploiting you and rebuild your own safe haven. No matter how great the storms or pressures in your home life, the fated aspect between Jupiter and Neptune at your apex offers you a tremendous divine shield. A magical healing process is at work in your environment, projects, or health. You can create creative, artistic, or visionary projects that will allow you to shine in your career. You can heal your daily life with divine order. Your intuition will be your greatest guide in your professional life. The Mars-Uranus conjunction, still very strong in your house of shared earnings, debts, loans, taxes, and inheritances, is putting high tension on your financial transactions. A shocking piece of news, a sudden expense, or a sudden crisis or restructuring may arise concerning your spouse's finances, shared income, or banking or debt relationships. You should absolutely avoid making risky investments, like gambling on the stock market, or panicking and taking on uncontrolled debts out of anger at the pressure within your family. In summary, in the positive scenario, a long-standing issue concerning your home, relocation, or place of residence becomes clear. You strategically and coolly eliminate manipulative people within your family or regarding property matters. You remain rational in the face of sudden shocks in shared finances or debts. You shine like a star by focusing on your leadership in your career and creative projects in your work environment, finding inner peace in your home. In the negative scenario, you might engage in major ego battles within your family or home life, driven by the arrogance of, it has to be my way, disrupting peace at home and sabotaging significant career opportunities. This stress can lead to panic and financial crises. This full moon will most affect those with planets between 1 and 11 degrees in Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, Gemini, Libra, Sagittarius, and Aries. Dear Sagittarius, the Jupiterian full moon in Aquarius, occurring at 6 degrees on July 29th, creates a tremendously powerful, radical, and fated wave of completion in your third house, the area of your immediate environment, siblings, cousins, communication, thoughts, short trips, business contracts, and digital projects. This full moon shakes the engine of your mind and communication, initiating a revolutionary awakening and a fated period of commitment in your perspective on life, your sibling relationships, and your business life. You may experience a fateful culmination as a long-awaited book, thesis, e-commerce project, or social media campaign gains widespread recognition. A significant business contract or agreement may come to fruition with this full moon. While your ruling planet Jupiter in your 9th house promises immense optimism, profound wisdom, and significant expansion in international or academic fields, the full moon compels you to be clear, concise, and rational in the practical world. Some situations may arise where your grand theories clash with the practical realities of your immediate environment. You may feel immense mental pressure, manipulation, gossip, or crisis from your siblings, cousins, neighbors, or those you work with digitally. The pressure of a toxic person trying to control you intellectually may surface. This full moon tells you, don't let your immediate environment or dogmatic ideas silence your practical, brilliant, and original thoughts in order to protect your distant goals, beliefs, and grand vision. You will suddenly and radically cut ties with an outdated form of communication or environment that is mentally exploiting you. No matter how great the mental storms or pressures around you, the fated aspect between your ruling planet Jupiter and Neptune offers you a tremendous divine shield. A magical healing process is underway in your love life, your relationships with your children, or your creative projects. You can produce magnificent works that showcase your beliefs and dreams to the world. In the stock market/investments, you can take the right steps under divine protection with the help of your intuition. Your intuition will open doors of opportunity for you. In your house of marriage, relationships, and partnerships, the still very strong Mars-Uranus conjunction is placing a high level of tension on your relationships. A sudden, shocking piece of news, an abrupt confrontation, or a change of direction from your spouse, partner, or business associate may arise. You must absolutely avoid getting angry at the pressure or opinions from those close to you and making rash decisions that will destroy bridges with your partner, or engaging in arguments that are difficult to resolve. There's a ticking time bomb in your relationships. You must remain calm and control your words. In summary, in a positive scenario, a digital project, education, or a long-awaited business deal will be finalized with tremendous success. You will logically eliminate manipulative and gossipy people from your immediate circle. You will maintain your composure and temper in the face of sudden shocks in your relationships. You will shine like a star, declaring a fated mental freedom by completely focusing on your faith in life, your distant goals, and the creative joy in your love life. In the negative scenario, you engage in intense ego battles with those close to you, fueled by a "I know best" attitude, stemming from your beliefs or convictions, exhausting your mind. This stress can lead to an angry outburst towards your partner, resulting in a fateful decision to divorce or end partnerships. This full moon will most affect those with planets between 1 and 11 degrees in Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, Gemini, Jambia, Sagittarius, and Aries. Dear Capricorn, the Jupiterian full moon in Aquarius, occurring at 6 degrees on July 29th, is creating a tremendously powerful, radical, and fated wave of completion in your second house, the area of money, financial resources, budget, savings, material possessions, and self-worth. This full moon is shaking the axes that govern your life's financial balance and shared resources, initiating a revolutionary awakening, clarity, and fated period of independence in your wallet. With this full moon, you can reap the tangible rewards of a long-term, hard-earned income model, salary, or business project. You will find the strength to declare your financial independence, while Jupiter in your 8th house promises tremendous financial growth and generous support through other people's money, bank loans, or your spouse's income. The full moon urges you to focus on your own finances. Over-reliance on this external comfort and making extravagant purchases beyond your budget, or taking on uncontrolled debt, thinking, "I'll pay it off somehow," can strain your personal wallet in the long run. You may feel immense manipulation, budget pressure, jealousy, or crisis regarding your own earnings, savings, or bank accounts. The pressure from a toxic system or people trying to financially squeeze you, withhold the money you deserve, or control you may surface. This full moon whispers to you, take unwavering control over your own abilities and budget, rather than becoming dependent on others' money, your spouse's income, or bank loans. You will abruptly cut off any crisis situations that exploit you financially or emotionally and make you feel worthless. It's time to shine a light on your own worth. No matter how much turmoil, manipulation, or pressure rages in your house of money and budget, the fated aspect between Jupiter and Neptune in your 8th house offers you a tremendous divine shield. A magical healing is at work in your home, family, or relationships with your parents. You may find surprising family/real estate support to help you pay off debts, get your budget in order, or find immense spiritual peace within your home. Your intuition will guide you on a right path to resolving financial crises. In your daily work environment, projects, colleagues, and physical health, the still very strong Mars-Uranus conjunction during this full moon is adding tension to your daily life. A sudden, shocking piece of news, an abrupt resignation, or changes in direction may occur in your work life, projects, or relationships with colleagues. You should absolutely avoid getting into irreversible confrontations with bosses or colleagues, burning bridges, due to the stress of financial crises and impulsive anger. Since your nervous system will be overloaded, you should slow down and pay attention to your sleep to avoid minor physical accidents or clumsiness at home or at work due to haste. In summary, in the positive scenario, your personal budget, salary, or any expected financial matter culminates in a significant increase in income. You professionally and coolly eliminate people from your life who try to manipulate or devalue you financially. You remain rational in the face of sudden shocks in the work environment. You are reborn financially from the ashes by focusing on opportunities from shared finances and the peaceful, divinely healing space of your home. In the negative scenario, you engage in major ego battles stemming from past fears and greed regarding money, driven by the arrogance of "I will control everything," and you lock up your budget. This financial stress can lead to sudden outbursts at colleagues, putting you in the wrong even when you're right, costing you your job, or causing you to become psychosomatically ill. This full moon will most affect those with planets between 1 and 11 degrees in Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, Gemini, Libra, Sagittarius, and Aries. Dear Aquarius, the Jupiterian full moon in Aquarius, occurring at 6 degrees on July 29th, is creating a tremendously powerful, radical, and fated wave of awakening in your first house, the house of self, personality, relationships, and outward appearance. Because this full moon is in your sign, it's a fated turning point where you'll take center stage in your life, express yourself, and experience a revolutionary completion in the relationship between your personality and your relationships. You may radically renew your personal goals, appearance, or style that you've been putting off for a long time. Your self-confidence and unwavering Aquarius independence will reach their maximum. You will completely chart the course of your life according to your own desires. Jupiter, directly opposite you, indicates that your partner, spouse, or associate will want to take very generous, visionary, and lucky steps during this period. However, since the full moon is in your favor, you risk acting overly rigid, selfish, or with an arrogant only my word matters attitude in order to protect your own independence. You shouldn't let your ego crush your partner's generosity. You may feel immense manipulation, jealousy, pressure, or power struggles from your spouse, partner, or business associates. Situations where the other party is trying to control or restrict you may surface. This full moon carries the message, don't sacrifice your authentic self, identity, and freedom by succumbing to the manipulations or pressures of marriage, partnership. With the destructive power of this full moon, you may suddenly and radically cut ties with a toxic relationship or partnership that is emotionally or spiritually exploiting you and has run its course. Your relationships and personality are undergoing a radical transformation. No matter how intense the inner pressure and tension in your ascendant may be, the fated aspect Jupiter will make with Neptune in your house of marriage offers you a tremendous divine shield and a communicative outlet. A magical healing process is at play in your dialogues with your spouse, partner, or close circle. Instead of being angry and rigid, trusting your intuition and speaking honestly and lovingly will allow you to forge deep, divine bonds with your partner, almost like soulmates. Your words are the greatest antidote to healing relationships during this period. The Mars-Uranus conjunction, still very strong in your 5th house, which governs your love life, dating, children, hobbies, and speculative investments, is adding tension to the things you enjoy. A sudden, shocking piece of news, an abrupt confrontation, or a rebellion that could burn bridges in an instant might erupt in your love life or relationship with a romantic partner. Similarly, you should absolutely avoid taking exaggerated risks in areas like the stock market and cryptocurrencies. Mars-Uranus here is very conducive to impulsive, gambling-like actions and could bring about major financial setbacks. For Aquarians with children, slowing down this week is important to avoid minor accidents at home due to the children's active nature. In summary, in the positive scenario, a long-awaited, fated awakening and clarification regarding your life, image, and personal goals is completed with great success. You eliminate those who try to manipulate or control you in your relationships with clear and professional composure, without letting your ego get in the way. You remain rational in the face of sudden shocks affecting your love life or investments. You shine like a star, declaring a fated freedom by focusing on your partner's generosity and the magical bond of communication between you. In the negative scenario, you might engage in major ego battles with your partner, driven by a "I'll rule this life alone" attitude, leading to fateful divorces or separations from partnerships. This stress, both financially and emotionally, might cause you to panic and risk all your savings on the stock market, creating major financial crises. This full moon will most affect those with planets between 1 and 11 degrees in Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, Gemini, Jambia, Sagittarius, and Aries. Dear Pisces, the Jupiterian full moon in Aquarius, occurring at 6 degrees on July 29th, creates a tremendous wave of inner and fated completion in your 12th house, the house of the subconscious, hidden truths, fears, dreams, spiritual healing, isolation, and behind-the-scenes dealings. This full moon shakes the most invisible and intimate areas of your chart, initiating a revolutionary awakening and fated cleansing period in your spiritual world, subconscious patterns, and daily work health routines. Some intrigues, secret gossip, or long-held secrets may surface with this full moon. You may witness the unmasking of hidden enemies. While Jupiter in your 6th house promises tremendous productivity, promotion opportunities, popularity at work, and fantastic projects in your daily work life, the full moon compels you to rest spiritually. The intense rush of daily life and work ambitions can create an exaggerated balance between them and your soul's need for solitude and healing. You shouldn't neglect your soul and health by becoming a workaholic. In your inner world, you may feel a massive manipulation, anxiety about the future, obsession, or crisis within your psychology. Old, outdated subconscious patterns or sorrows that make you feel like a victim may surface. This full moon carries the message, don't get lost in the ambitions of daily life and the obsessions of the work environment, sacrificing your spiritual freedom, dreams, and divine power. By radically cutting off the crises and fears that have accumulated in your subconscious for years, you will be reborn from the ashes as a much wiser character. This is a tremendous time for therapy and spiritual detoxification. No matter how many storms, fears, or pressures are swirling in your subconscious, the fated aspect between Jupiter and Neptune in your 6th house offers you a tremendous divine shield. The visionary, artistic, or creative projects you undertake in your daily work life are combined with Jupiter's good fortune. Through your own efforts, you can open up miraculous, prestigious, and abundant new sources of income you never expected. And you can heal your sense of self-worth in a tremendous way. Your intuition will show you the most correct paths to success in the practical world. The Mars-Uranus conjunction, still very strong in your home, family, residence, and parents' house, is placing tension at the core of your life. A shocking piece of news, a sudden argument, or a rebellion that burns bridges may suddenly erupt in your family life, home, or during moving processes. Be alert to electrical and electronic malfunctions or accidents at home. You must absolutely avoid giving into anger stemming from subconscious pressure or work stress, destroying bridges with family members in a second, angrily leaving home, or suddenly having a moving crisis. You need to slow down and preserve peace in your home. In summary, in the positive scenario, you will calmly and spiritually recognize and heal from behind-the-scenes dealings or subconscious fears. Your efforts at work and in daily life will bear fruit, and you will experience divine healing and increased income. You will maintain your composure in the face of sudden shocks at home or within your family. By focusing on your inner peace, you will rise from the ashes like a phoenix. In the negative scenario, you become a prisoner of your subconscious fears, falling into a deep victim mentality and making yourself sick. With this intense mental stress, you suddenly lash out at family members, disrupting all the peace in your home. This full moon will most affect those with planets between 1 and 11 degrees in Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, Gemini, Libra, Sagittarius, and Aries.